Hello, my name is Keith Pace, music faculty at Gateway College of Evangelism. This is a help video for Lesson 1 to review some key points we learned in class. Now, this is a video on the transcription process. A fundamental skill that we learned in class is matching and identifying pitch classes. Now, the term pitch class is used to group together all pitches that have an identical sound or that are identical except for octave or octaves that separate them. For example, B sharp, C, and D double flat would all be of the same pitch class regardless of their octave. Now, there are 6 steps to the transcription process. Step 1 would be to identify and timestamp song sections. Step 2 would be to find the key. Step 3 would be to dictate all rhythmic values. Step 4 would be to identify and dictate all roots of chords. Step 5 would be to identify basic triads. Step 6 would be to identify and dictate additional, if any, chord qualities. Okay, the first step in the transcription process that we're going to talk about is identifying and time-stamping song sections. Now, this is good to do just to lay out a roadmap for the song and to be able to kind of jump around a little bit better. I always like to start out doing it. We're going to use You're Beautiful for our example here today. It's a song written by a Gateway student, and it is on the All We Ask 2010 album, live recording. And let's take a listen to it. And this is a pretty easy process. So obviously, there right at the bat, the beginning of the music, will be labeled Introduction. Okay, and then verse 1 happens right there. It looks like about 37 seconds. So I'll write verse 1 down, and then right next to it 0.37. And basically you continue this process for the whole song, and help you jump around a little bit better. Okay, this would be step 2 in the transcription process. So we're going to find the key of the song. Now, the best way to do this is to go to a section of a song. Generally, the first chord of a given section, probably 70 to 80% of the time, is going to be the tonic. So we're going to use You're Beautiful, for example. I'm going to go into the verse and try to identify what the bass player, what note he is playing for the very first chord. Let's see. So you can hear that the bass player is playing that note. Okay, it's of that pitch class. Let's switch over to a keyboard and try to identify what pitch class that is. So na was the note. So that matches the pitch that the bass player was playing. So we know that most likely this song is in the key of E. And we would listen to it, and a lot of times, just to make sure, you can play the scale over a section of the song, and if a note sounds kind of different, then you can kind of double check and make sure that they did in fact start the section on a tonic chord. Okay, so we've established that You're Beautiful is in the key of E. Okay, the next step would be to dictate all rhythmic values. And I'm actually going to go ahead and jump ahead real fast to the second lesson, kind of just give you a brief overview of how to set up a score within Sibelius. So we're going to go down here to the dock, click on Sibelius 6 icon, and it'll take a minute to load here. Okay, and this is the first box that shows up. This box does not show up. You can do all of these commands through the top bar up here. We'll just go ahead and use it. I'm going to start a new score. And it's going to ask me for instruments. Now, we want to do vocals and piano. So I'm going to add vocals, or a choir. And choir SATB, that stands for soprano, alto, tenor, bass. That's not what we're going to want to use. We want to use choir reduction. Okay, and you can see that it's consolidated all the vocal parts to 2 lines. And so I'm going to start out with that. I'm also going to hit change instruments because I need to add something to that. I need to add piano. We're going to add piano to score. Now we're going to delete one of these. Okay, and this is what we should end up with: soprano, alto, tenor, bass, and then piano. And that's it, in that order too. Okay, and as you can see, it looks right here, so we're good to go. Continue. House style will be unchanged. Time signature, you can select your time signature here. In this case, your beautiful is in 4/4. And the key we established was in E major, so we're going to scroll down here, select our key, so it says major keys, hit next. And we can enter the title here. Composer, songwriter, so on and so forth. And let's go ahead and finish this up here. Okay, here's the new score. Has everything that we need: time signature, key signature, and the right amount of parts here available. Now we're going to work first on the piano part, and to do that I want to show you real fast how to kind of set things up. Now this is a rest. I'm going to make this to quarter note over here. I'm actually going to unclick so it's not a rest anymore. As you can see, my cursor is blue. That means that my cursor has something loaded in it and it's ready. So I'm going to put a quarter note right here. And then I'm going to arrow over to get this line away and arrow back over and just hit R for repeat to fill a measure. Now I'm going to click on this measure, and whenever you're doing chord charts, you don't see values dictated out unless they fall outside of the primary beats. So for instance, if your rhythmic values are 8th notes or 16th notes or anything like that, then you'll need to dictate those out. But if your chords fall on primary values, then you can just use slashes. And how we create slashes is we select this bar, go up here to the notes. This is our properties, notes, and right here where it says B4, we're going to select number 3, and that changes it to slashes. Now once again, I'm just going to select my measure and hold R to kind of fill up some of the score with this. So here we go. And we'll just make a few pages here. Okay, and that should get us started to get us into this song.